This is one of those cases where it's pretty hard to disagree with the outcome. O'Shea was a serial sexual offender against children. In the late 1970s, he was jailed for the third time and his sentence was indefinite. He would remain in prison until the parole board agreed to his release after medical reports from two separate doctors. Even once that had happened, the decision to release him would need to go before the Governor of South Australia, who would no doubt act on the advice of the relevant minister. It was usual for the Governor to endorse the decisions of the parole board. By the mid-1980s, O'Shea had managed to convince two doctors and the parole board that he was suitable for release. However, the reports were hardly glowing. Both of the doctors expressed serious reservations and said that O'Shea should only be released into the community on the strictest conditions. The decision then went to the Governor, who refused to release O'Shea. The Governor did not invite O'Shea to make any submissions. O'Shea appealed against the decision on the basis that the parole board decision gave him a legitimate expectation of release on parole, and that if the Governor was inclined to reverse that, O'Shea should have been informed and should have been accorded natural justice, that is, the right to make submissions before the refusal was finalised. The court disagreed. Justices Wilson and Toohey said, "It cannot be said that Mr O'Shea could have more than a hope that the Governor would be prepared to act on the recommendation of the board. Hope of itself is not sufficient to ground an expectation that will attract legal consequences." So far as the concept of legitimate expectation is concerned, Mr O'Shea must be taken to know that the act committed to the Governor the responsibility for determining where the public interest lay. He would also know that the reservations expressed in the medical reports and implied in the stringent conditions recommended by the board would be likely to give the Governor cause for anxious consideration as to whether to release Mr O'Shea. The nature of the decision that they were required to make was such that participation by Mr O'Shea was inappropriate. From this decision, we distinguish between a mere hope and a legitimate expectation. A mere hope is no basis for a right to natural justice.